I even surprised myself when I gave Reed an ultimatum. This is part 59 of sharing my story on here because it's so much easier than writing another book. I am really careful with my words, and when that ultimatum flew out of my mouth, I kind of shocked myself because I was like, now I have to follow through. It was a Wednesday, and I told him that if he did not have $5,000 by Saturday, that I was taking the kids and I was leaving, because at this point, our car was breaking down. We didn't have enough food in the house. I'm literally feeding the kids, and then I'm eating what's left over without them noticing. I'm eating what's left over, and that is just not cool. Like, what kind of a person is like puts their family in this situation? And I am working like crazy amount of hours. And remember, I'm like 6 years into burnout, like severe burnout, and he's just not holding up his end of the bargain. By Friday evening, I knew it wasn't going to happen, and I was just so frustrated and terrified and hungry. I loaded the kids up that Friday night, and I was like, we're going to be leaving by noon tomorrow. I told the kids, I'm like, we got to go. We got to get away for a little bit, and we can't keep staying in this house, because we were in an Airbnb that we were going to move over into a private rental, so we weren't under Airbnb anymore, but we hadn't paid rent. So there was like another eviction coming, and the police had already come to the door once. Now, this is 2020, it's during lockdown, but because we're not in any kind of a lease agreement, like, it's a really sticky situation, and I feel so uncomfortable. And the landlord lives on the same property. So we're in the big house and they're in the smaller house. Like, it was a major hostile situation. And she was a very aggressive Hispanic lady. And that's just not the energy you want when you're trying to run a business and have a family. Like, I pay my bills and I don't like this. And that's why I'm so frustrated with him. So by Friday evening, I'm like, it's going to happen. We're going to leave. And I put the kids in the van, and I'm like, we are going to go get haircuts, and then we're going to go get some Chinese food. And tomorrow, like, we're going to pack up and we're going to go to our hotel, just the 5 of us. And the kids are like, okay, let's do it. Now, I have a bank account that's in the negative. I have no money to do this. I am just going on pure faith. I put the kids in the car, and I go and I pull into this Great Clips. It's right next to a Chinese food place. And the moment I park the car, my phone rings. And it is a woman that was one of our clients in Rockport, where we had built her a lot of furniture, but our family really got to know their family. And she is such a beautiful, lovely older lady. She's very boldly a green witch, and she's in her 70s. Like, she's a really awesome lady. She just said, I feel like I need to give you $1,000. And I sat there and I just cried, because I was like, you have no idea your timing. Like, I literally had just parked the car, went in pure faith, had no clue. The kids didn't know, like, that I didn't have the money for food or haircuts. I literally just went and did it, and the money showed up. And I only talked to her for a few minutes. She's like, yeah, good. This was exactly what the universe was doing. Here's your money and good luck. And so now I had $1,000 to get food, get haircuts, and book the hotel for the next night. So we bought enough Chinese food for the entire family, Reed included, and we took it back to the house, and we had this one more meal together. And it was so many tears, mostly between him and I. Like, I don't think the kids really understood what was happening, but it was like, I was so hungry and he was so hungry. Like, we were just in a really bad place, and he was so grateful for the food, and as was I. I booked a hotel, and the next day we packed up, and I put most of our stuff in a little 5x5 storage unit. We packed up what we needed and got it all in the minivan with the 4 kids, and we went to a hotel, leaving Reed in the house to clean it up, pack up the last few things and go wherever he needs to go. I didn't care where he was going to go. Like, he could stay there until the police kicked him out. I don't care. I had to leave. But this thrust me into a massive pivot with my brand, because it had been a co-brand. And now it's like, well, we were working together doing superpowered couples, and then I just blow the entire thing up by leaving him. And so now what do we do? Like, now how do I make money? And I'm really grateful that all of my clients were on month to month, because throughout this, they were starting to either go on and do other things or drop off or didn't have the money to pay. And I was really grateful for that. So I took the superpowered couples and made it the best I could with everyone, except the one lady who we owed $10,000 to. And that was a problem, because it shut down my PayPal completely, because I've got this $10,000 refund on there. And so I have no access to PayPal. I'm trying to figure out how to like restart a brand. And I just blew everything up, and it was so embarrassing and so humiliating. But that's better than being on the side of the road with the kids, having the police evict us. Like, it wasn't making any damn sense. I knew I just had to get them into a safer space, and myself too. So I just shut down everything, and I worked it out the best I could with all of our clients, and they all understood. Like, they could see what was going on. And I did a super quick rebrand, because I have my book now, and that I'm basically, you know, already a badass for surviving trafficking and the anti-trafficking movement. And then I'm like, okay, now I'm just going through this separation. And so I started a branch off of that, and I just went with burnt consulting, because we've been burnt out, we're fried, like we're exhausted. It was like very fire themed, and it felt real good, because I knew I could do business stuff, because I've been doing that for so long. I'm like, this relationship shit just isn't working, and now I've got 4 kids I need to provide for. So we're just going to figure that out, and I'm going to lean into business, and we'll go from there. Really hard for me to do all of it by myself, especially living in hotels, because now instead of going from monthly, we're to like weekly or day by day, and we don't have a kitchen. We don't have enough room for all of us. And my whole family is quite neurodivergent. And so there's like special needs all the way around, on top of my youngest son's illness, which he's fine by this point. But it's like we can't really leave or move. We just have to stay where we are. But the neurodiversity with the constant change, not having your own space or your own bed even, because in hotels now we're sharing beds or using air beds. And it was so much combined with the breakdown of the brand that I was doing like $100 sessions, just trying to, like, you've got a breakthrough, you need to talk to someone, like, let's just do $100 session and do it. And there were a number of people that really kept me afloat. But as the weeks went on, I was not well. And I was like, I could go to a shelter, because this was pretty serious financial abuse at this point. Like, it was like there was something going on. The kids started to talk to me about like their emotional trauma that they were having. And I'm like, we have to go to a shelter. We've got to go somewhere. And I discovered that I would not be able to take my 2 boys to any kind of program. So I would have to like put them in foster care. At this point, Reed is living in a hostel and like not doing well. So I have the kids full time, and I am not going to lose my boys. Like, absolutely fucking not. And so I'm like, there are no options. Really, the only choice I have is to pull myself up by my bootstraps and just fucking figure this out, because I don't have anywhere to go, and I don't have anyone to help me. Like, I'm the oldest in my bloodline. Where do you go? What do you do?